So again, welcome to Live Beyond Limits. I think you all know I'm Reverend Jennifer Spear, and for those of you who are watching online, we are a part of Centers for Spiritual Living, and I'm so glad you all have come today to the park and joined us. And I want to mention, how cute is this and how nice is it? All of you are sitting close together today because everybody's vaccinated, we're outside, and how lovely is it? Yes, so nice. And so actually, we begin our service today. What do? We do a welcome, and then I'm going to share with you our vision statement. So if you know it, I invite you to say it along with me. If you don't, I invite you just to take it in. It goes like this. We are a sanctuary where people can discover and reveal the presence of God within their own being and experience their oneness with all life. Through the realization of this inner presence of love and peace, we give way to the evolutionary impulse of the divine and become a beneficial presence in the world. So that's what each one of us is up to here, really, is discovering the presence of the Infinite One that lives within us. That is none other than the essence of our own spirit, of our own beingness, and that presence within us, our beingness, is a presence of love. And it is a presence of peace. And it is a presence of wholeness. And it is really the life of God within us. And that's the life that we are living. Because as you know, when we recognize and come to know that that presence is within us, then we aren't reliant on the outside world to reflect back to us the truth that we are whole, or reflect back to us love. Sure, we prefer it, but we don't require it. And as we come to know that love and peace within us, then we are able to bring that into the world when the world is calling for it, when the world isn't reflecting it back to us. And as we do that, we are acting as a beneficial presence to those around us, and a beneficial presence to the whole, because we affect the whole, because everything is connected to everything else. And so I thank each and every single one of you for heeding the call of your own spirit to be walking this path and to be being a beneficial presence in this world. Thank you for that. And so I'm going to invite our practitioner, David Conant, forward. He's going to come and lead us in an evocation as we evoke an awareness of the presence of Spirit that is already right where we are, and do a contemplative reading for us. And so I invite you just to begin to settle into yourself. We're going to actually sing the prayer chant, We Are, by Denise Rosier, that will lead us into that evocation. And so I invite you just to kind of settle in and to disconnect from the world and to just find that beingness within yourself.
I am grateful for the opportunity we have today to come together in the park. We are here as living beyond limits. The universe has seen to it that what we are doing is easy for us. Since there is only one source, we can't get it wrong. This is pure spirit. It is present here now, and we are all one with it. This living spirit flows through Living Beyond Limits and into our lives and into everything we do. Today, it is also manifest in the form of Reverend Jennifer's sermon. I bless Reverend Jennifer, and I know the one source manifests in our lives today. I bless Ray for his gift to living beyond limits and to each one of us. I bless everyone here. I bless all spiritual paths, and I am grateful for our oneness with Spirit. And so it is. Good morning.
Good morning.
My reading today is from a little book called Gratitude by Melody Beatty. And it begins, "Gratitude unlocks the fullness of life. Gratitude makes things right. It turns what we have into enough and more. It turns denial into acceptance, chaos to order, and confusion to clarity. It can turn a meal into a feast, a house into a home, a stranger into a friend. It turns problems into gifts, failures into successes, the unexpected into perfect timing, and mistakes into important events. It can turn an existence into a real life, and disconnected situations into important and beneficial experiences. Gratitude makes sense of our past, brings peace for today, and creates a vision for tomorrow. Gratitude turns negative energy into positive energy. We can start with who we are and what we have today, apply gratitude, then let it work its magic. There is no situation or circumstance so small or large that it is not susceptible to gratitude's power. And so it is.
Thank you. Nice. So happy Memorial Day weekend, everybody. You know, I love Memorial Day weekend because it seems like such a celebration to me always, because it feels like the kick off to summer. You know, it's a time of having barbecues and picnics and spending time outdoors. In fact, I heard on the radio this week that they interviewed people, and 80% of the people that they interviewed said this weekend they were going to a barbecue or a picnic, spending time with friends, and doing something outdoors. And they said last year they interviewed people, and 80% of the people said they were staying home by themselves. So that is just cause for celebration, that we are all out and that we're together and we're with people that we love. And so if you don't know, Memorial Day actually began in the year 1860 in the wake of the Civil War, and it was called Decorations Day. And it was a day where people put flowers on the graves of the fallen soldiers. It was a day of celebrating and honoring those who gave their lives in the military. And so today, on Memorial Day, we honor those people, those fallen soldiers. George S. Patton, who was a general of the U.S. Army in World War II, actually said, "It is foolish and wrong to mourn the men who died. Rather, we should thank God that such men lived." And so today, we really are in gratitude for all of those who have served this country, who gave of their time and gave of their lives. So we honor all of those today who have served in the military. We're grateful for their sacrifice that they made to this country, and actually the sacrifice they made to freedom. And so if you served in the military today, I know there's 2 here, we honor you and thank you today. Thank you. And so Eric Burden, who is actually an American songwriter, said, "On Memorial Day, I don't want to only remember the combatants. There were also those who came out of the trenches as writers and poets, who started preaching peace, men and women who have made this world a kinder place." And boy, haven't these 2 men right here done exactly that. And so, in honor of Memorial Day, we honor those who throughout history contributed to us. Contributed not just to this country, but the people that contributed to us by giving of themselves to make the world a better place, to make our lives better, even those people that have made our lives easier. So indeed, we are standing on the shoulders of many people who have made our lives better and made our lives easier. We are standing on the shoulders of many men and women who have gone before us. We are who we are today because of many who have gone before us, and our lives are what they are today because of the many who have gone before us. They are what they are today in part because of the hard work that people did in their lives, and the work that they did still serves us today. And so the problem, as you know, so often is that we take all the blessings in our lives for granted, that we don't take the time to actually acknowledge those blessings in our lives, or to acknowledge the people that have contributed to our lives and made them better, the people that have contributed to those things that we cherish in our lives. We also get so focused on how bad things are in this world instead of focusing on how much good fills each and every single one of our lives. And so today, I am grateful for those contributions that people have made, large and small, to my life and to make my life better and easier. And so today, I actually honor and give thanks to Thomas Edison, who is responsible for the distribution of not just the light bulb, but of electricity, so that I can listen to music in my home, so that I can have my lights on and do whatever I want, regardless of the hour of the day, day or night. I can do what I want because of those light bulbs. I give thanks to Teddy Roosevelt today on Memorial Day, who is responsible for creating the national park system in this country, for he has set aside the most beautiful places in this country, so that not just me, but all of us can go to those places and soak in that beauty and feed our souls with the beauty of nature. I give thanks today and honor the suffragettes who worked for decades tirelessly so that women could have the right to vote, and so that we women actually have a voice in this world. I honor them and give thanks to them. I honor and give thanks to Martin Luther King Jr., who paved the way for civil rights and for equality and equity, and not just for black people and people of color, but for everyone. He paved the way for civil rights for everyone in this country. And I give thanks to and honor Ernest Holmes, who is the founder of this movement that we are in, because he and his philosophy have changed my life. They have made me realize that I am never stuck, but that I'm always at choice, and helped me to realize that there is an infinite potential in this universe that is the very nature of my life and the nature of all life. And when I have that realization and embody that realization, then my life changes. And I am also so grateful to my Grandma Margot, who believed in me and taught me that I could believe in myself. And so today we honor all of those people on Memorial Day that made our lives better. And so what a perfect time, really, to memorialize everyone who made a positive impact on the world and us. And so I ask you, to whom are you grateful? To whom are you grateful for the difference that they made in your life, in the world, so that your life is easier? And so I invite you just to close your eyes for just a second and to think about that. To whom are you grateful for the contributions that they have made to the world or to your life to make life better? They might be alive today. Perhaps they've already passed. They could be a historical figure or someone that you know personally. To whom are you grateful? And to whom are you grateful that you can stand on their shoulders because they have enabled you to be who you are and your life to be what it is? And so I invite you to open your eyes and to tell someone who's sitting next to you who you are grateful for, who you will celebrate this Memorial Day.
Matthew. I didn't know her. They were all great. Yeah, it's interesting. Anyway, I just
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I used to hang out at the church up on 6th Street, and I read all about Ernest Holmes and Hornaday when they first started. They had the Hornaday. I read that whole history of how that started. I didn't live in that place. Kicking around a little bit longer.
And so I invite you just to bring your attention back here. And so the title of my talk today is On Their Shoulders. And I'm actually talking about honoring those people upon whose shoulders we stand, and honoring those people who have made a contribution to our lives and to the world, and being in gratitude for that. I'm talking about really how recognizing those people actually enriches our lives. That recognizing the contributions that those people made to our lives actually inspires us and compels us to make a difference in the people's lives that follow us, the people's lives that are around us. It inspires us to be tall shoulders for other people to stand on. It inspires us, recognizing what they have done, to live a life with purpose. It inspires us to be a good example, not just for children, but for the other people in our lives. It inspires us to care for the environment. It inspires us to nurture healthy relationships. It inspires us to be a beneficial presence to humankind. You know, to stand on someone's shoulders, what that really means is to stand on, when you stand on someone's shoulders, you can see further. And if you and a buddy, let's say we're trying to climb over a wall, you might stand on the shoulders of your buddy so that you could actually get to the top of the wall. So it allows us to reach further. And then since you were the one that got to the top of the wall, you get on the wall, what you would do is turn around and give a hand up to the person that just helped you up the wall. Or maybe the other people that are coming behind him. And so we are inspired to be in gratitude, and we are inspired to help those that come behind us. And so it causes us to ask ourselves, what do I have to contribute to this world? It causes us to ask, what do I have to contribute that will make a difference, not just to my friends and family, not just to the people on this planet today, but what do I have to give that will actually contribute to making this a better world for the next generation, for people who come after me? In fact, Eleanor Roosevelt said, freedom, which is kind of what we're talking about, these people who have fought in the military, freedom makes a huge requirement of every human being. With freedom comes responsibility. We are awake as spiritual beings to that responsibility that we have inside of ourselves to be a beneficial presence, to make a difference in the world. And so also, what a perfect day it is to actually recognize how Spirit is unfolding itself and evolving itself through our own lives and through humanity, through our culture, through civilization, how it's expanding and evolving itself through each of us and evolving our own lives so that we might be clearer and fuller expressions of the fullness of the presence of God. And so we have a need as human beings to experience that good in our lives and to revel in that good, to be in gratitude. And we also have a need to unfold the good of life through us, to give way to that, to be a conduit for love and for creativity and for good and for the unbound potential of life. We have a need to be a beneficial presence in the world. And so I read a story that was from Humans of New York that I'd like to share with you. He says, I didn't go to college until I was 50. I was working as a custodian, and it just got tiresome. You could find me in the exact same place at the exact same time every day. Clean the halls, clean the classrooms, clean the bathroom. I wasn't feeling fulfilled. I started going to college classes on nights and weekends. It was difficult because I was always tired. There'd be times where I didn't want to go, or I didn't want to do an assignment, or I didn't want to go to school because it was raining. I graduated 5 years ago with my bachelor's degree. And then 2.5 years later, I got my master's. Now, I'm a parent coordinator at the same school where I worked as a custodian. I get to counsel parents about how their children can get the most out of school. My confidence has doubled. I used to be unsure about speaking up because I didn't feel qualified to offer my opinion. But now I'll stop parents on the street just to make sure their child's on the right track. I now have been working in the Department of Education for 30 years, so I could retire next year with benefits. But I don't want to, because I love my job. He is being shoulders for those parents. They can see further because of what he now knows. And then those children can stand on their parents' shoulders because those parents now know more than what they knew before. As awake spiritual beings, as awake people, we feel, you and I, a responsibility to our own soul, a responsibility to our own soul's expression. We have a need to live in integrity with our own divine beingness, a need to live in alignment with our spirit. And so I ask you, what is it that you can bring to this world to make a difference, to make a conscious contribution, positive contribution? What can you bring to the world that will not only make a difference today, but for days to come? And so I invite you to close your eyes and ask yourself, your spirit, that. What can I bring to this world that will not only make a difference today, but for years to come? And I invite you to tell that to someone you're sitting near.
All right, send some more. Wow. What was the name of it? What was the name of your show today? You had a 15-minute show. Yeah.
Hear what you say, but they say what you do.
But you had guests on the show, or you would just speak yourself, or what?
And so I invite you again to bring your attention back. And so this Memorial Day, we celebrate those who have contributed to our lives in a positive way. I want to honor and celebrate every single person, not just in the past, but who is on this planet today, who is making a positive difference, who is making a positive impact, who is seeking to make this world a better place. So let's honor them also and give thanks for them. I also want to honor and celebrate every single one of you for the difference that you are making in the world. For I know that you are, each and every single one of you, making a difference in this world. And so thank you. Thank you for heeding the call of your own spirit. Thank you for being a beneficial presence in this world. Thank you for the commitment that you have made to your spiritual path and to being a beneficial presence in this world. And so
Thank you, Jennifer.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Thank you. And I also invite each and every single one of you to honor yourselves. Even though we may not do things perfectly all the time, we still, each one of you, I know that your intention is high and that your commitment to being that beneficial presence is clear. And so I invite you to honor yourself on this Memorial Day weekend also. In the words of Emerson, he said, "Do not go where the path may lead, but go instead where there is no path and leave a trail." That's all of our invitations. And so my invitation to you on this Memorial Day weekend is to celebrate and to honor all of those to whom you are grateful for. And rather than taking things for granted, all the good that fills your life, to take the time to simply acknowledge the blessings in your life and to acknowledge the people that are responsible for those blessings in your life, to honor them also this weekend. And instead of focusing on how bad things are in the world, to focus on the abundance of good that fills your life. To focus on all of those who are unfolding that divine presence through themselves into this world. And as we do that, we will be magnifying the good in our lives, magnifying our experience of the good, and feel fulfilled and filled with love and grateful to God. And so blessings to every single one of you on this path of awakening, on this path of being a beneficial presence in this world, on this path of being you. So thank you, and blessings to you. And so I invite you to join me in an affirmative prayer. And so I just turn my attention to the truth with a capital T, that God is truly everywhere present. That God is truly in and through and around and as everything I see, as well as everything I don't see. That there is an infinite presence, a presence of infinite potential, and a presence of love, a presence of good without bound, a presence of peace and of wholeness and of power and of joy, and again of love. And so it is that love that leads us in our lives, that leads us to being a beneficial presence. It is the love of the divine that we share with others, that we bring with us everywhere we go and pour out into this thirsty world. For we come with kindness and with care and with compassion, with high resolve and high intention. And I know that we are each giving way to that divine presence in a way that only we can. And that benefits us, and it benefits this world. And so I give thanks for this presence. And everywhere that I look and everywhere that I go, I see it unfolding itself as good. That it is evolving each and every single one of us so that we might be a fuller expression of all that it is. And so everywhere I look, I see, and in my seeing I call forth love and harmony and order, love and good. And so it is with a grateful heart for all of this that I release this prayer into the law of the universe, knowing that it responds with a resounding yes. That as we say yes, life says yes. And so we embody this truth today. We embody it, we acknowledge it, we stand firmly in it. And that becomes our experience. And so I release this prayer into the law of the universe, saying, thank you, life. And I say, and so it is. And so I have we don't have invitations for you. It is time for our offering. And so if you have an offering, Actually, I think it's time for our affirmation. David's going to come forward and lead us in our affirmation first. You know, doing this at home is different than doing this in person.
So the affirmation is on our white sheet. And if you would join me today, I celebrate and honor all the people who have elevated my life and the world. I revel in the multitude of blessings that fill my life. I consciously contribute to the creation of a better world through my words, deeds, thoughts, and deeds. And so it is.
Now it's time for our offering. So if you brought an offering today, I invite you to come forward. If you did not bring an offering today and you've been supporting us online, I thank you for your continued support of Living Beyond Limits and all that we are doing.
I thought it would warm up.
No, it didn't.
Thank you.
Here, you want to...
And so I invite you to join me in a blessing of this offering. And so it is with a grateful heart, a heart overflowing with love and gratitude for this community, for this philosophy, for all of life, that it is from this place of gratitude that I bless this offering, knowing that gratitude magnifies our experience and that our gratitude magnifies everything that is happening here at Living Beyond Limits. So I bless this offering today. I bless this community, and I invite you with me to send a blessing out into this entire world, to every heart and every home, every place of business, and every person. And I say, thank you, God. And so it is. And so now I have a couple of invitations for you. One is we will be back here in 2 weeks, so I invite you to join us here. Another one is Lakewood Country Club is opening the middle of July. So I'm going next week to talk to them about being back at Lakewood Country Club and to make arrangements. Yay! So that's very exciting. I also want to invite you to, we are doing part 3 of the workshop that we've just done 2 parts of. You don't have to have gone to either one of them before. You're still invited to come to part 3. It is called Keys to the Spiritual Path. Part of it is about mysticism and having that direct experience of the presence. It is also about looking at some other spiritual paths and the golden threads that run through those paths and how they support us in our own spiritual path. So I was going to only teach it at 7 o'clock, but if you sign up, Barbara Conant has the sign-up sheet. Put on there whether you would rather do it at 12:30 or at 7, and if we get enough people to do both, I'll do it both. If not, then I'll just do it at 7. So why don't you put on there if you can do both, or if you could only do one or the other if you sign up. But I'd love to have you there. We've had a really good time, and people have had lots of growth from the last 2 that we've had. And to let you know, too, it's very little homework. There is no book reading to do. It's just a workshop. It's a 3-part workshop. So I invite you to join us for that. We are doing ministry prayer, so if you have a prayer request, you can tell Barbara Conant. We have prayer shawls. She can make that available to you if you would like to have a prayer shawl or would like to gift one to someone. And Carol Borwick is raising her hand. It's on. So it's on your invitations. The back of your white sheet has it. It starts June 24th. So you can sign up here, or you can email me if you forget to sign up while you're here today. So that is it for those invitations. So happy Memorial Day weekend. Love to every single one of you. And have a good day.